the Virgin most pure, who conceived in her womb the Redeemer of mankind and was preserved from all stain of original sin, wishes to be the definitive seal of our encounter with God our Savior. There is no fruit of grace in the history of salvation that does not have as its necessary instrument the mediation of Our Lady. Our Lady's purity was constant from the moment of her conception, preserved by a singular grace of God from the stain of sin, knowing that someday the long-awaited Christ would be conceived in her spotless womb. The closer a soul is to God, the further away that soul is from sin. No creature is closer to God than Mary. Mary is filled with grace to such a degree that in some way her identity is her purity. She identified herself to Saint Bernadette at Lourdes as I am the Immaculate Conception. She is God's masterpiece, the most beautiful of all His creation. It is not an exaggeration to say that the time we live in is the hardest in the history of mankind to live out purity. But the Beatitudes tell us that only the pure of heart will see God. The obstacle of impurity is blinding many to Christ. We need Mary's intercession. Father Sean Kilcawley here in the Diocese of Lincoln is part of an apostolate called Integrity Restored, which works to lead men and women back to purity of heart. Many resources are available at integrityrestored.com. To close in the words of Pope Benedict XVI, looking at Mary, how can we, her children, fail to let the aspiration to beauty, goodness, and purity of heart be aroused in us? Her heavenly candor draws us to God, helping us to overcome the temptation to live a mediocre life composed of compromises with evil, and directs us decisively toward the authentic good that is the source of joy.